Welcome. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. That earth became mountains and pebbles, rocks and stones, soil and sand, clay and minerals, and dust. And that dust was shaped and moulded, breathed into with divine breath, set on fire and filled with blood and water. Earth, the element that grounds and stabilises, that stands for millennia as bedrock beneath our feet, became a living soul, fragile and vulnerable, strong and everlasting. Earth, the container that holds all things together, the vessel that holds lakes and rivers, foundation which holds the roots of mighty trees and fragile flowers. Firm ground that supports the feet of all living creatures that have ever walked or crept upon the earth. This dusty, earthy element holds the treasure of the human soul and will again release it to the element of air. We reflect on earth as element and the many forms it takes, and ponder what it means for us to be both dust and divinity, formed from earth, inbreathed with divine spirit. Let the entire universe erupt with praise to God. He spoke and created it all, from nothing to something. He established the cosmos to last forever, and He stands behind His commands, so His orders will never be revoked. Let the earth join in with this parade of praise. You mighty creatures of the ocean's depths, echo in exaltation. Let the waters below the heavens be collected into one place and congregate into one vast sea, so that dry land may appear. It happened just as God said. God called the dry land earth, and the waters congregated below seas. And God saw that His new creation was beautiful and good. I love you, Yahweh, and I'm bonded to you, my strength. Yahweh, you're the bedrock beneath my feet, my faith fortress, my wonderful deliverer, my God, my rock of rescue where none can reach me. You're the shield around me, the mighty power that saves me, and my high place. You, Lord, are our Father. This is the word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord. Go down to the potter's house and there I will give you my message." So I went down to the potter's house, and I saw him working at the wheel. But the pot he was shaping from the clay was marred in his hands. So the potter formed it into another pot, shaping it as seemed best to him. Then the word of the Lord came to me. He said, "Can I not do with you, Israel, as this potter does, declares the Lord? Like clay in the hand of the potter, so are you in my hand, Israel." I stand on the beach, my feet steady on the rocks by the shore, lapped gently by the outgoing tide. I scoop a handful of sand and tiny, tiny shells and watch as it slips through my fingers. Lines learned long ago from some long forgotten place drift into my mind. Big rocks into pebbles, pebbles into sand. I really hold a million rocks here in my hand. And I'm fascinated again by the sand falling through my fingers. From what desert place did these particles of earth spring from? Which winds have blown these tiny grains from somewhere else to here? And which winds will blow them somewhere else again? From what rocks have they been ground by wind and water into fine, silvery sand? The rocks beneath my feet are firm, and yet will also one day become sand. The cliffs behind me stand strong, but were once upon a time larger and stronger than they are now. I walk back to my car and notice the grasses, shrubs and strong trees growing out of the sand and the soil beneath the sand. I think of the mighty eucalypts, deeply rooted in the sand of Kagari, sometimes known as Fraser Island, and wonder how they can grow so strong and so tall. I think of tiny shoots appearing bravely in parched earth and flourishing suddenly following heavy rain after years of drought. This earth, this dust, clay, stone, so strong, so fragile, sustains and feeds life in so many forms. I hold a million rocks here in my hand. What treasure is held within each particle of earth? What richness of precious metal or mineral is hidden inside? What sparkling gemstone is buried deep within the unlikely outer crust? Earth yields its treasures like scattered gemstones in dry riverbeds. Hidden treasures, riches stored in secret places. All of this to reveal the awe-filled creativity of our God. What minerals, what goodness, what treasure is held within ordinary clay. Particles of sand still cling to my fingers, and as I brush them off, I am aware that even the skin and flesh of my hand is formed from dust and will one day return to dust. And yet, treasure is contained within. The vessel of my body, not just hands but legs and torso, arms and every other part of my flesh, this holy jar of clay, earthy and coated with dust, containing more than a few cracks and chips, is also filled with grace, love, wisdom, kindness and compassion. Paul's words, written so long ago, remind us. Earth, created to hold treasures within, to stand firm as age-old mountains, to grow food as rich, fertile soil, to nourish forests and green valleys, to contain the rivers and waterways. Earth, the vessel that holds and expresses our love, our tenderness, our creativity, the outer casing of divine imagining and brilliant genius. The container that holds our fire and passion and flaws and fragility. Earth, mingled with air and water and fire, created by God, holds all things together, holy ground upon which we stand. As you reflect on these words and on the element of earth in all its variations you see around you, how is God calling you to respond? What do the dust and clay, the ground and the earth around you, the very flesh containing soul and spirit, reveal to you of the glory of God? It is not you who shapes God. It is God who shapes you. If then you are the work of God, await the hand of the artist, who does all things in due season. Plant a crop of righteousness for yourselves. Harvest the fruit of unfailing love. May you stand strong like the everlasting mountains when the earth is shaking around you. May you move like shifting sand with the tide, learning to ebb and flow with life's currents. May you be richly grounded like fertile earth, bringing forth life and abundance. May the secret treasures buried deep within your soul break open in radiance, bringing light to those around you. May you be pliable like soft clay, allowing yourself to be shaped and moulded in continuous recreation. And may the imprint of the Creator's hands remain fresh upon you. May the deep peace of the strong earth hold and sustain you.